Let's continue here with the World Bible, edited by Robert O Ballou. The Parsis is the section that I am in, and from the Vendidad, the first man. Zarathustra acts to Ahura Mazda, O Ahura Mazda, most beneficent spirit, maker of the material world, thou, Holy One, who was the first mortal before myself, Zarathustra, with whom thou, Ahura Mazda, did converse, whom thou didst teach the religion of Ahura, the religion of Zarathustra. Ahura Mazda answered, the fair Yima, the good shepherd, O holy Zarathustra, he was the first mortal before thee, Zarathustra. Unto him, O Zarathustra, I, Ahura Mazda, spake, saying, well, fair Yima, son of Viv-an-Ghat, be thou the preacher and bearer of my religion. And fair Yima, O Zarathustra, replied to me, saying, I was not born, I was not taught to be the preacher and the bearer of thy religion. Then I, Ahura Mazda, said thus unto him, O Zarathustra, since thou dost not consent to be the preacher and the bearer of my religion, then make thou my world increase and make my world grow. Consent thou to nourish, to rule, and to watch over my world. It's sort of a thing that happens with a lot of the prophets. They get the message like, wait, but I'm not learned, I'm not. And, then they eventually. And the fair Yima replied unto me, O Zarathustra, saying, yes, I will make thy world increase, and I will make thy world grow. Yes, I will nourish and rule, and watch over thy world. There shall be, while I am the king, neither cold wind nor hot wind, neither disease nor death. Then I, Ahura Mazda, brought two implements unto him, a golden seal and a poniard inlaid with gold. Behold, here Yima bears the royal sway. Thus, under the sway of Yima, 300 winters passed away, and the earth was replenished with flocks and herds, with men and dogs and birds, and with red blazing fires. Much more likely that it was 300 days in winter, or 300 weeks in winter, or something. Or even 300 months, I guess could be possible. And there was replenished with flocks and herds, and with men and dogs and birds, and with red blazing fires, and there was room no more for flocks, herds, and men. Then Yima stepped forward in light, southwards, on the way of the sun, and afterwards he pressed on the earth with the golden seal, and bored it with the poniard, speaking thus, O spenta armati, kindly open asunder, and stretch thyself afar to bear flocks, and herds, and men. And Yima made the earth grow large by 1/3 than it was before, and there came flocks and herds and men at their will and a wish, as many as he wished. The creation myths were often exaggerated, and in previous nations, they rewrote the scriptures to accompany these exaggerations, which we now know are false. Thus, under the sway of Yima, 600 winters passed away, and the earth was replenished with flocks and herds, and men and dogs and birds, and with red blazing fires, and there was room no more for flocks, herds, and men. Then Yima stepped forward in light, southwards on the way of the sun, and afterwards he pressed the earth with the golden seal, and bored it with the poniard, speaking thus, O spenta armati, kindly open asunder, and stretch thyself afar to bear flocks, and herds, and men. And Yima made the earth grow larger by 2/3 than it was before, and there came flocks, and herds, and men, at their will and wish, and many as he wished. Thus Under the sway of Yima, 900 winters passed away, and the earth was replenished with flocks and herds, with men and dogs and birds, and with red blazing fires, and there was room no more for flocks, herds, and men. Then Yima stepped forward in light, southwards, on the way of the sun, and afterwards he pressed the earth with golden seal, and bored it with the poignard, speaking thus, O Spentar and Matey, kindly open asunder, and stretch thyself afar, to bear flocks and herds and men. And Yima made the earth grow large by 3/3 than it was before, and then there came flocks and herds and men, at the will and wish, as many as he wished. The evil winters. The maker, Ahura Mazda, called together a meeting of the celestial Yazatas in the Aryana Vago of high renown, by the Vanguhi Dacha. Aryana Vago is the primal land, that's where we get our word Iran from. The fair Yima, the good shepherd, called together a meeting of the beast of the mortals in the Aryana Vago. Aryavatra is the Hindu version. Renowned by the Vangohe Dacha. To that meeting came Ahura Mazda in the Aryana Vago of high renown, by the Vangui Dacha. He came together with the celestial Yazatas. To that meeting came the fair Yima, the good shepherd, in the Aryana Vago of high renown, by the Vangohi Dacha. He came together with the best of mortals. And Ahura Mazda spake unto him, saying, O fair Yima, son of Vivangalat, upon the material world the evil winters are about to fall, that shall bring the fierce deadly frost upon the material world. The evil winters are about to fall, that shall make the snowflakes fall thick, even on the highest tops of mountains, and the beasts that live in the wilderness, and those that live on the tops of the mountains, and those that live in the bosom of the dale shall take shelter in underground abodes. Before that winter, the country will bear plenty of grass for cattle, before the waters have flooded it. Now, after the melting of the snow, O Yima, a place wherein the footprint of a sheep may be seen will be a wonder in the world. Therefore, make thee a vara, long as a riding ground, on every side of the square, and thither bring the seeds of sheep and oxen, of men, of dogs, of birds, and of red blazing fires. Therefore make thee a vara, long as a riding ground on every side of the square, to be an abode for men. A vara, long as a riding ground on every side of the square, for oxen and sheep. And thou shalt make the waters flow in a bed, a hathra long. There thou shalt settle birds on the green that never fades, with food that never fails. There thou shalt establish a dwelling place, consisting of a house with a balcony, a courtyard, and a gallery. Thither thou shalt bring the seeds of men and women of the greatest, best, and finest on this earth. Thither thou shalt bring the seeds of every kind of cattle of the greatest, best, and finest on this earth. Thither thou shalt bring the seeds of every kind of tree, of the highest of the size and sweetest of odor on this earth. Thither thou shalt bring the seeds of every kind of fruit, the best of savor and sweetest of odor. All those seeds shalt thou bring, two of every kind, to be kept inexhaustible there, so long as those men shall stay in the vara. There shall be no humpbacked, none bulged forward there, no impotent, no lunatic, no one malice, no liar, no one spiteful, none jealous, no one with decayed tooth, no leprous to be pent up, nor any of the brands wherewith Angramanu stamps the bodies of mortals. In the largest part of the place thou shalt make 9 streets, 6 in the middle, 3 in the smallest. To the streets of the largest part thou shalt bring 1,000 seeds of men and women. To the streets of the middle part 600. To the streets of the smallest part 300. That Vara thou shalt seal up with thy golden seal, and thou shalt make a door, and a window self-shining within. And Yima did as Ahura Mazda wished. And, so they could be passing on something from the Ice Ages coming into effect and coming out of effect, and they very well could have, it could be the same character as Moses, but there's reason not to, because Moses, Yima is said to have went to a top mountain, and people thought, oh, we can do this again because it was done before, so Yima was probably a different character, in my estimation.